morning and welcome to another video. Sorry I haven't been on a lot. It's been way too hot to do much. I've had a week off work just so I could get sewing projects and things out of the way, but it's just been too hot. I've done a couple. I finished, I did a tutorial and finished this. That's my jacket, quilted jacket, so I got that out of the way. But behind me this is brilliant. This is a great way of using up scraps. It's a great way of not using any scraps. You can buy fabric especially for it. I've used all my background scraps that I had, cream one in the middle and a white around the edges. Can you remember these? I did some, when I got rid of all my scrap box last time, I made a lot of scrap squares, and I didn't like these. I didn't like them at all. So I was going to chuck them away, so what I did was come up with a brilliant idea. Well, I think it's brilliant, and that is that I cut them into 4.5-inch squares, and I did the Laura Holt crisscross star pattern. So if you look on YouTube, she does a tutorial. There are 3 sizes. You've got the 15-inch, the 12-inch and the 9-inch, and I'm sure you could probably go down even lower. And so that's why I used up, and I didn't, so I've saved money by not chucking them away, by utilising, because obviously I made them into blocks, which then become fabric, which I've utilised to make a scrappy star, crisscross star quilt. This one is the right side for a teenage, for Project Linus. You could do it as a table topper. You can make it bigger, make a bigger quilt if you like the stars. They're so easy to do, and because you've got lots of area between the point of the star and the edge of the fabric, even before it goes together, you've got no chance of cutting your points off. So it makes a brilliant star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 star points. You could utilise the centre by putting by fussy cutting. I've done plain patterned, and I've fussy cut. What did I fussy cut? Oh, it's not this one, it's the other one. Or you could fussy cut or do a plique, because they're big enough. They're finished 5-inch square in the centre. She gives you all. She does the tutorial and gives you all the measurements. As you can see, there's a big space there. Now, if you're practicing free motion quilting, that's a good area to start with. So you could just do the 4 blocks together and just practice in that if you wish. You could do. You could put your walking foot on and just go around the edges of that. You could keep your walking foot on and just do crisscross or lines. So that's one way of quilting your own quilt very easily. I found this very versatile. So, but I took it one stage further because of that big block space there, because I used plain background, whereas Laura used whites with patterns on, so hers didn't look quite as plain as mine. I actually made so you had a square in the centre, just there. So basically this went like that. Oops, it's not going to stay. Oops, it's not going to stay, it's all going to fall down. So basically I made, which again you could quilt because it's a square, or you could still use your free motion quilting foot, your walking foot. So obviously that then you put the same size block, which is a 4.5-inch block that you used on the points, 1 in each corner, and you'd have to plan that to match it up. So that's easy. So that's Laura Holt's one. That one, this one. I made this up as I went along. I haven't used my Dresden plate. Usually when I do my Dresden plate, I'll do the big ones, the 20-inch ones. And I thought for a change, for a baby quilt, I could do a smaller one. That'd be nice. So, as you can see, just turn it round to the right place. This is the sun. And all babies know that the sun is made out of butterflies. So I was using up scrap fabric again. That's butterflies. Then obviously all babies know that the moon is made out of, oops, can't get it right, there you go, squirrels and flowers. So that's that fabric there. And then I just blanket stitched them all on. And then this one, well, it's babies know that the stars are Dumbo and Thumper and the elephant, which I forgot the name of, and the deer. So, and obviously I made that into a smaller one with the moon fabric in the middle, and then just use the blanket stitch all the way around it, and then you just star, and then I just made drew lines from the inside of the star, the sun, sorry, which is here, it's backwards in the camera, which is here, and then I just walking foot and put the lines in. That was dead easy to make, a bit of a fantasy one. Use my imagination, I let it grow right, and that's the last of the butterfly fabric. So again, using quilt scraps, getting all the scraps out of the way. So that's that one. This one is windmills. I put underneath what the name of the pattern is. I'll have to find it on the on YouTube under Jordan Fabrics. This is a windmill within a windmill. Then when you put them together, you've got another windmill just there. So that's quite nice. I do like that one. That is the right side for Project Linus for a teenage quilt, the same as the other one. So that was dead easy. Love the pattern, again using all my scraps up. I'm not ready to have these quilted or learn how to or not learn how to quilt, or to quilt them myself at the minute, so I'll probably fold them up and put them away for a rainy day. This one, I buy some of my fabrics from, let's just pull this round. I buy some of my fabrics from Sew Direct. I'm not, it's a sewing studio, and when you order an X amount, not only does the price come down for each piece of yardage that you buy, but also if you do it when they've got a promotion on or something, then you get little freebies. Well, they sent me a 42 mini charm pack. Now the name of the charm pack was this. So it's Words to Live by Ginger Bear by Moda. So that's Moda. So what I did was, I just didn't want to put squares together because that would have been boring. I made arrows. So there's one, there's a smaller one, there's another one, and then I used all my neutrals, my browns, the creams, the whites, and the black and white at the top, which are all scraps. So that's another baby quilt for Project Linus done. So that they don't take 5 minutes to do. And then I just used my walking foot and did different shapes, so, squiggles and whatever, and diamond shapes and things. You can do whatever you want because it's your quilt. This one, can you remember I did a tutorial on how to make a swan? Well, I turned this into a cushion cover. A cushion cover with a zip. So like, but I left the zip exposed because of the colours I used at the front. So I've got the orange for the beak, the black and white for the feathers, and obviously then I left it exposed so you can see why. Because usually when I do my zips I cover that so you can't see a zip. I didn't want it covered this time. I thought that was brilliant, making that one block into a cushion cover. So you wanted, and then obviously then you change all these feathers and you can use different colours. You can have your swan pointing that way or your swan pointing that way. You can do a black swan or a white swan. Mine's not white, it's silver. So that's some fabric I had in my stash. And it's a silver one, so I thought it was ideal for feathers. So anyway, so if you wanted to make a quilt out of that, I've made it a little bit easier for you to follow the pattern if you didn't quite understand the pattern. If you're a beginner, there is no way, no reason why, if you follow my tutorial on making the swan block, why, in between watching me and reading your pattern, that you can't understand how not to make it. So this one obviously you've seen before, and I think it's time that one all got folded and put away. I should put all the others away now. I haven't got time at the moment to quilt them or do anything I want with them, because I'm still trying to get on with scrap out the way. I've got a future project coming up, which is this one. It's a summer moon, and I absolutely love that, but I don't want to do the light one, I want to do the dark one. So that's that one, and at the end of this month and beginning of September I should be going over to Barry's, as you know watching previous videos that I love my Barry's in Birmingham, and so I'll be going to get my bulks, then I can buy a couple of £100 worth of fabric to do that with. So that's future in the next few weeks. What I also done when I made the Laura Holt 15.5-inch block, and then you finish it at 15 inches, I made myself a little board. When you're using this kind of wadding, then obviously it's easy to put your squares. So when you're making your blocks up, you can hold them on this board, and that's dead easy. It's just drop them off, bit of cardboard, and then you just make a square and then stick it on with glue. So there you go. And then obviously if you get one of them lint rollers, when it's full of all the lint, which is this is starting to build up after a few, you can roll and take the lint off, which then this should last for quite some time. But it's ideal if you're moving it from the ironing board or different places, or you keep moving it about, because you have to keep. I always push my sewing machine away when I'm cutting and whatever, or drawing lines on the backs of to make half square triangles. So I always push so this gets moved around a lot. So instead of keeping them all crunched up and moving them across the table, I can just pick this up and move it out the way. So these are a brilliant idea, but you don't have to spend too much time or too much money. Cardboard, thick cardboard, and a bit of wadding, and glue it on the back. So that's what I've been doing. The heat is unbearable in the UK at the moment. I don't know where you're watching from, but it's over 90 outside, and it has been now for over a week, and this is supposed to be going on now till Wednesday or Thursday next week, and I would have got a lot more done if it wasn't for the heat. You just can't move. Part of the afternoon, you just can't move. And I've got my fan on me constantly, which obviously then I can't do videos if the fan's on. I don't want to sit in front of the window because the sun, or you're closing curtains to block out the sun. You've got all your windows, there's no wind, there's nothing. So I know other people are in the same boat as me, where they're just, it's absolutely just, we're not used to it in this country. Sorry to have to say this, people, but bring on the winter. There you go. That's my word of wisdom for today. Bring on the winter. Right, thank you for joining me. I hope this inspires you to have a go. Find free patterns, which you've got your Jordan fabric one, and Donna Jordan one, and your Laura Holt one. Laura Holt one is absolutely brilliant. It's so easy, it's unbelievable. Beginner, beginner, beginner. So easy, and she does a tutorial. Different sizes. You could find, actually, it's something I may do in the future, but here's another one for you. And if you haven't had this idea before, find all the free star block patterns, different sizes, because obviously if you've got a 15-inch block like that one and you do a different star, doesn't matter what star it is, as long as they're all star blocks, and it's, I don't know, say 5-inch, or no, say 6-inch, and obviously then, and then you do say another 6-inch makes 12, and then you sew them together to do one on top of the other, then you've got your 15-inch block here. Then all you do is do background fabric to make it the same size as the next block, put them together, and you've started a row, but you've got different size stars. I should be finding out all the different stars, free patterns on YouTube, internet, wherever, and making them all up and then making them fit into a big star quilt. And then you've got another way of making a quilt, or a lap quilt, or a baby quilt, wherever. It's different. Thank you for joining me. I hope this inspires you to have a go, giving you some more free places to find free patterns, which helps with the cost of sewing, which is expensive when you buy fabric, and to use all your scrap fabric up, which again, it's expensive, so if you can save money that way, brilliant. Thank you for joining me, and have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.